Hi, friends. Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Coronado, California.
Okay.
And we decided that you guys probably would prefer the view than watch us. So, also, we just got home. So we got home literally like 20 minutes ago, and we're trying to pull everything together. So just know that we're not completely ready, but we will be, and we're just going to do what we normally do and just kind of go with the flow.
And have fun.
So, yes. Hi, Lori. Okay, so we need to transfer to all the other pages.
Yes.
I can't do it on mine, so.
That's okay. Let me
If my mom, Sue Fana, can you share this to our pages, both live and sisters for me? Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much, Sue. Carolyn. Hi, Lori and Rita. Hi, Kathy. Catherine. Dee Dee is here. Sandy Lance. Hi, sister. Hi, Esther. Debbie Freeman's watching. Hi, Charlotte. Janine Olney. Hi, everybody. Hi, Terry McNeil. Lisa Turing's watching. We have been out and about all day today. We went and had lunch down on the water, and then we found a huge antique and vintage vendor mall. And so we have spent the afternoon there, and then at the last second we ran into a Goodwill. So the truth is, we would have been on time, but we saw Goodwill and we couldn't pass it up. We knew
it's all Ma's fault,
and we knew you all would understand completely. Hi, Chris. Hi, Antoinetta, Lynn Roberts, Debbie Sellers, Diana, Deborah Vitarelli, Robin Ireland, Annette Wilson. Hi, Saveda, Connie, Julie Bishop. There's Lori Lou. Susie, Cindy Wingate, you guys, thanks so much for being here. I know it's late on the East Coast, but it is only 5:30 here, so we haven't had dinner.
And I don't have jet lag at all.
Anything. There's Michelle Hall. Hi, sis. Lynn Roberts, Cynthia Carney. Hi, Carmen. I'm really just kind of stalling so that we can get everybody on all of our pages. Hi, Kay Myrick. Hi, Robin. Hi, Pam. I'm so happy to see you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Hi, Diana. You guys, it has been absolutely stunning today. Gorgeous.
Oh my gosh.
Stunning.
So beautiful.
All day today. So it was pretty overcast earlier, but then everything burned off and it was just gorgeous. Hi, Regina. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Ann. Sandy. Chris Ann.
So all of our comments are going to be coming through Swag Makers. So let's let them know.
Okay,
if they're
go ahead.
Watching, if
Hi,
you're
Catherine. Hi,
watching
Leslie.
on any of the other pages and we are not responding, make sure you're watching on Swag Makers. Go to Swag Makers and watch from there, because we did share this in all of our groups, but we can only view the comments
in Swag.
Currently on Swag Makers. So if you're on Vintage Retail Therapy,
Hi, Marianne.
Home
Tracy.
Sweet Create, Check Savvy
Shannon.
Live, any of those, go over to Swag Makers and view from a Swag Makers page.
Yes, and obviously, if you've never joined that page, please join that page. Make sure you hit the follow button. If you don't see a follow button, it says following, you're good. If you don't see a follow or a following button, hit the 3 little dots to the right, and it will give you an option to follow. Instead of liking, doesn't do anything. We appreciate it. We like you too. But it doesn't do us any good. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Donna.
A like is like a hello.
It
is. A share is like a I love you so much.
It is so true.
Everybody needs to know about you guys.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to really try to get all of us, plus the view. Hi, Dee. Allison Vanel's here. Hi, Angela and Judy. You turned off commenting on the pages so they click over to Swag. Great. Sounds good. Hi, Chris. Deanna. Okay, so when we were, do you want to stand for your phone?
Yeah, that would be
We're
great.
going to have to look at comments somewhere else. So today, when we were out, excuse me, at this antique mall, we were originally going to do teapots. Are you on the Wi-Fi? And we all have teapots. We're going to do teapots tonight. And then we saw these and we said, hi, Mama Jerry. Hi, Michelle Canode. Am I going to move the camera? Did you want me to move it down closer?
I think.
Which we can. But anyway, we were at this antique mall and we found 6 of these today for $1 a piece. And they are heavy. They're concrete. And we decided, you know what? Let's each take one and do what we would normally do, what our style is to this. So we're all kind of doing the same thing. Hi, Tony. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Donna. We're all doing the same thing.
And we all don't know what the heck we're doing.
And none of us know what we're doing because, okay, it's
kind of a mystery
have
box.
to come over this way a little bit. Mary, you're going to have to come closer.
Can you round the corner? And
I
can you
sure
still?
can.
No, because then it'll cut her out. That's okay. We're used to being close.
That's okay. So anyway, I brought tons of stuff with me from Arizona. We went to Mara's shop yesterday. Mara has a ton of stuff. So we've got decoupage papers. We've got transfers. We've got molds. We've got wackadoodle stuff.
Hey, Michelle.
So we're just going to kind of figure it out as we go.
Yes.
But each of these say brackets, and so we're all trying to cover that up. So
Yes.
Mara, you used what?
I threw, you want to put that in there? I just
Here,
put some
slide that.
glue and I threw some clay in there.
Can you slide this?
What kind of clay did you use?
I
Whoa,
used
whoa.
just air dried clay
Air dried clay and a little bit of glue,
and a
it,
little bit of.
and it totally worked
Here.
because it took that away.
Now do it. Now pull one out.
I'm going to put I'm going to use trim over mine that says brackets. What are you going to do, Jen?
I'll probably
I
trim
think I'm
over
actually
mine,
going to
too.
decoupage over it a little bit using bits from our paper.
Hey, David, your honey's here.
He is.
Aww.
Hi, baby.
Let me see if I can put us up higher, if that would help better.
They absolutely look like Sid Dickens plaques.
Yes, Michelle.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hi,
I think
Sue.
so too. I mean, I don't know, you guys. I'm so sorry. It's like the best we could do. It's really hard to get 3 people in
Yeah.
a shot. So maybe we'll just kind of keep coming up to the camera and show you what we've got. One of the other things I had was this mold, and it's an owl mold that I bought from vintageretailtherapy.com. And I thought this would be super cute with steampunk. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I don't know how to do steampunk. So I'm not
do.
doing it. I really don't.
Anything, Debbie.
I don't know about that. So
Do you have any more bigger brushes? They're all back here.
yeah. So we've got stuff everywhere, and I brought like all my designer stuff too. So let me see what you guys are talking about first. That helped? Okay, good. All right. So that's a little bit better. The wackadoodle piece was neat. It was, but how funny is that? I actually bought that. David Feely, I know. Hi, sweetheart, to you too. I actually bought this from Chris Hunter. I don't know if they still carry these, but it was a necklace with 1,000,000 sets of pearls on it, and she was on it. And I had it on my necklace, and Bill said, you need to get rid of that creepy thing. So I got rid of the creepy thing.
It is a little bit creepy.
We do have the best background behind us. We really do. No landscape. Yeah, you can't do landscape on a live, and that's I hate that. Let's see. Julie Bishop, did I see you went? No, you wanted the casino. Doggone it! You are so lucky. And last time I was at the casino, I tried to do what you did, which was play the 5-cent machines, and I still didn't win. So, okay, Jen, why don't you go show? Will you show what you're doing?
Yeah, well, I don't really know what I'm doing.
See.
But I will tell you that I'm using the Teresa Renee art by Decoupage Queen. This is the 4 birds. The 4 birds. I think we're going to use this one because it fits best on the plaque. But they're fabulous. They're all Teresa Renee's original art.
Mara, what's going on?
And then we've got some trims. We might fine line crackle.
Are you going to use the crown?
I am going to use the crown.
You are.
Crown mold. We'll probably put some Totally Dazzled on there, of course. So
It's
You know
funny
what?
because
What
it's tough to think through
Is that your
when
tail
you don't have everything you would like to have, and it's a little tough to think through everything you're doing. But it's possible. And these are a funky shape. I think
They are a funky shape.
Yeah,
they're a really funky shape.
What are you
We
doing
kind
with
of
yours, do
probably
you know?
screwed ourselves
Oh, that's fun.
by doing this. Don't you think?
I don't know.
Maybe so.
Maybe a little bit.
But you know what? We're gonna have fun. We'll be screwing
Yeah, we
and
do
fun.
know. That is one thing we do know how to do.
But I do love
Wow.
that whole. What is it, Sid Dickens?
Sid Dickens.
I love that whole
Sid Dickens.
design
Sid Dickens.
thought. But
From Dickens. Lynn Pickens.
okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
Like
do
Slim
trim.
Pickens.
Mary, will you show them what you're up to?
Yes, I'm gonna take this, and I haven't decided. I might actually do it what I think is backwards because the trim. Let me go up here. Let me come up close.
Chaotic. Sorry, you guys.
So I think it's originally supposed to be this way. So I filled that in with clay. What does it say? Bracket. What a dumb thing to say.
That's what I didn't get either.
What the heck? Who did that? I bet it was a man.
I'm sure
Just
it
saying.
was. No
Sorry
question.
to all our men. There.
Our one man.
No, my
One man,
husband.
David.
My husband will probably be on there too. So I filled it in with clay. I added a little bit of glue in there, and I smushed some clay in there.
Happy hour.
Yes, 'cause
And-
we haven't even had a chance to open it yet.
Oh my gosh, we have it. So I'm using a decoupage queen number 3103, and I think I'm gonna put it. I think I'm gonna put her here because
Put her there.
I'm gonna
Put her
put
there.
Put her there. Well, that's my plan.
That
for
is your
now.
plan.
Now,
I'm using
now,
Formflex,
now.
the Formflex mold. I'm just going to use a Formflex trim to put over mine. But this is something, when I was at Mary's yesterday, this is brand new. Is it brand new, Mary?
It is brand new.
It's brand new.
It just came from the shop. It's a pack.
It
It's a
just
set.
came. And it's so cool. Now, I don't junk journal, but if you do, this is a great junk journal pack. So this is just came to Mara's. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you for the stars.
It's
That's
like
so
animals
sweet.
for
Thank
junk
you.
journalers.
It is, because it all
Stars
goes together.
party.
But look at, you know we have to sing, right, if we win.
Do we have a song?
Well, we'll come up with one. But look at all the gorgeous stuff that's in
That's
this.
how it all started.
Oh my God, I'm in love with this little pack. And I don't junk journal, but it's so perfect for something even little like what we're working on today. And of course, I loved it because it was all blue and white. Hi, Mary Zwinger. Do you miss this? She doesn't miss us. She misses our unit. You guys,
Nanny,
it's
boo,
so beautiful. So beautiful. So happy.
Okay, wait.
And I was thrilled when the girls got here. They were like, "Oh my gosh!" It was
They're
the
like,
reaction.
"Oh!"
It was the reaction I wanted because it was the reaction I had when I walked in, and it's just really nice.
Paula, the pack came from, we were thrifting today, and we got each one of the tiles for a song, literally.
$1.
I'm pretty sure they were marked wrong, but that's okay.
I think
And
they
there's-
were too.
So we took all 6 of them. We figured we got a couple each to play around with, but it just worked out perfect.
Look at these two already start. I'm still like,
Oh, I don't know
Listen,
what.
we're just all I'm doing is getting the bird.
You what?
All
All
I'm
you're doing is getting
get-
the bird.
getting the
That's
bird.
not a very nice thing.
Use it just using some water to tear our little bird out here.
I think that.
Oh, that's
This'll be-
amazing.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Uh-huh. Y'all, so I finally, most of you know that I'm terrified of flying, but I've done really well.
Yes,
Really well.
You have.
Total big girl.
So then,
Total big girl.
Mara chooses to tell the story today. She's like, look, y'all, you know that the San Diego airport is like the most dangerous airport to fly into. You have to go, and I'm like,
Flying
Mara,
between
shut
2
up.
buildings.
Flying between two buildings. And I may or may not have called her an ASS.
Yes, you actually did. I can confirm that you
More than
did.
once.
She just kept on
You're a
telling
big
the
girl.
story. Yeah.
Big
Mhm.
girl.
Big girl.
Okay, so
Big girls
I'm going to
do still
use
cry.
liquid patina to get this down.
Okay, that's really cute.
That is cute.
Okay,
What
so we
about
just
you guys? What's everybody up to?
we just tore out the
Yes,
little bird.
Lori, she is. She's growing up into being
I
somebody
know.
that we're all really getting proud of,
Yeah.
finally. So it's good.
What does it say on the back of yours? Pompeii series, World Plus,
The Thomas collection.
the Thomas collection.
Can you
So
guys
you're
see
actually
though?
doing yours upside down.
Back
than mine,
there,
like
that
opposite
is my,
mine, which is kind of cool.
You can let me see
Are
if
you
you can
turning
see.
yours the other
I'm going to
direction?
show
Well,
you
yeah,
where
'cause
my
this is my
workstation
line
is.
this
Look
way.
at That's my my desk back there with my camera deal. That's where I have to work. We won a stars party? Oh my gosh, we did. Okay.
What did I sing when I saw you yesterday at the
Michelle
airport?
Hall, you're so sweet. What did you sing yesterday at the airport?
Yeah, when I saw you,
remember.
when I got in the car, I started singing Reunited.
Oh, you did.
I guess I have to do it the other way, huh? If we want to hang
What
them.
Yeah.
about? This is the one my mom and I do. You Are My Sunshine. Do you guys know that?
How about Waymaker?
Makes
It's
me
not
happy.
that started it all.
I don't know the words
Do
to
we
that.
really have to sing?
Yeah, we
No,
do.
it's the chorus.
Let's just do You Are My Sunshine because we all know that.
Okay.
They're used to it.
Sure.
You ready?
Sure.
And I'm gonna need harmony.
Sure.
All right, because my
Mara?
mom does harmony. Mary, you have to come closer to us.
Are you alto
Pretend
or
like you love
mezzo?
her. I'm a alto.
Me too.
Oh,
How's that
right,
going?
right.
All right, let's just do it.
Okay, here we go. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. That was not
Not
bad.
bad for our first try.
That was not
I
bad.
didn't even practice
Oh, it
that.
made me sweat.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad.
Could have been worse.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
So-
bad.
Let's. Bravo! Encore! Encore!
The crowd goes
That
wild.
was crazy. Oh my gosh, I love this paper, Mira.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Is it good?
Yes,
I haven't
it's
even looked at it.
beautiful. And it's black and or it's blue and white, and I
Okay,
just
so I need
love
those
it.
for a fine line.
So,
I get fancy.
all right, I'm gonna try and keep. I'm gonna try and so that we can keep track of comments too. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. I know it's gonna be really hard to see what we're doing.
Try.
So
No, there's a thing back there.
Do we
I
have
think that
one?
we're gonna
Oh,
have to
good.
just kind of keep showing you
Yeah, for sure.
We'll
What?
take turns.
what we're doing.
This one over here is hogging all the paints. You know.
So I'm just going to use wet brush to get stuff off. We don't have everything here that I would like to have, but we have a lot.
The view is fabulous, isn't it?
Yes, it's
Debbie
really
said. Michelle says, "Debbie, move closer to Jim." Susie says we
Squeeze-
all sounded great
Squeeze it
together.
in.
Thank you.
Sing to the
Is
Navy
Susie Lee-
SEALs.
Is Susie Lee on?
Not yet. Don't quit your day jobs, Tracy says.
Just yet, just yet. How long is everybody visiting? That's a great question. I don't think anybody really has any idea yet. But Jennifer needs to go back home on Tuesday. So I think we're not sure what we're gonna do. What will happen in the
Grandbaby's
meantime.
graduating kindergarten.
Kindergarten, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Hi Judith. Yeah, that's a big deal. I get it.
I think so.
I think it's a bigger deal than Mira and I, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Any Navy SEALs? No.
Not yet.
So disappointed. We've had no Navy SEAL action yet. And
They're you know what it is.
What?
They're saving up their energy because they heard we were coming to town.
well, that is.
So they're like,
I am sure.
we better get rested up.
That's what it is. But Bill is back in Phoenix. Bill went home for a few days, not only to do some doctor appointments and
Don't
stuff,
squeeze
but
it.
also to give us a chance just to hang out. So we
That was
spent
awfully nice of him.
a lot of time last night talking about our retreat. And tomorrow night we're going to do happy hour. So anybody who is coming to the retreat, we will do a happy hour tomorrow night with you all on our Swag Makers Retreat page.
That was fabulous there.
Thank
Is
you.
this liquid patina?
It's liquid patina.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have it. So we're excited about that. Your closest grandchild, your oldest grandchild graduated high school tonight.
Wow.
Aw.
Congratulations.
Did you get to go, Donna? That's exciting. Well, I guess you probably did. What a good boy Bill is. Yeah, he is. He's sweet.
We'll keep them.
We'll keep it for another couple weeks. What time tomorrow night? Great question. What time
We can
tomorrow night?
post it in the morning once we figure out what the.
Yeah, I don't think we know our schedule tomorrow yet, but we will post it. But it would be sometime probably around, I think we tried to say around 5 o'clock our time. Can I just tell you guys how much I am
That is beautiful.
loving this paper. Look at how beautiful that paper is. So, loving that. I'm going to use this trim, which I think will be pretty. I'm going to use Tight Bond to get that down. Hi, Wanda. Cheers for happy hour tomorrow night. I know, it'll be fun. Please tell us if he went to the dermatologist. It's tomorrow morning. Yes, thank you so much. I'm worried too, you guys. Bill has some big old thing on his head that doesn't look good. And so he's going to go to the dermatologist. It's tomorrow morning is his appointment. So you'll be passed out from happy hour by 8. Well, that's the problem. It's so early here. And for those of you who haven't seen all of our view, I'll take you around before we hang up so you can see
No, the brush.
everything. What do you need?
Just trying to use that.
Loving this. Hi, Nina. Okay. Has anybody purchased this pack? And Mara, are you the only one that has that pack right now?
You know what? It's a newer pack. I'm not really sure how many of the retailers have it.
Yeah.
But because it's literally just came
Brand
out.
new,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's
Hi,
actually another
Alicia.
pack that has vellum papers too. If you like vellum papers, I personally don't really know what to do with them. I'm not really a big scrapbooker, but I thought scrapbooker. I'm scrappy, but not a scrapbooker. But I thought that some of the images were really pretty, and I always get carried away with the releases. I get caught up in the excitement of it. I'm like, yeah, I need that one. Yeah, I need that one.
So yes, okay, Shirley Ann, yeah, I wonder about that too. Janet said if there's a hair growing out of it, then it's not a problem. There is not. I wasn't like right up on it, but I don't recall seeing a hair coming out of it. So
I didn't have hair.
and you didn't, yeah, and Jennifer just had her surgery and she didn't have hair, and you still don't. Poor thing. Okay, I'm going to do this in this corner. I'm loving this. This is a great little mold. You guys, we're using...
that's perfect.
I know. We're
Perfect.
using all Formflex molds because that's what I have, and that's pretty much
And it's
the only thing I
amazing.
use. Yeah, and it is amazing. If you've
And-
never used Formflex, for those of you that are coming to the retreat, Tammy, y'all will be there, and we'll have a lot of it there for us, for you guys to buy and use, so that'll be amazing. So, okay, so I want to match the rest of my plaque to match this right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint this with my antique gold, and then what did I do? I think I did black first and then antique gold over top of that. Can you show what you're doing?
Yeah, I think so. I kind of already changed my mind.
You did?
I did. So this is what I was going to do right here. But I think what I'm going to do instead, I'm still going to use that bird because I love it, and I'm so into birds, and pink is literally my favorite color. But I think I'm going to add this on the bottom as a background,
Oh, Charlotte.
just to. Oh, I love that.
Hey, sweet Charlotte.
I know. What are you doing? Sorry, I
I'm
missed
going
the
to
whole
add this
thing.
as a background, and then put the bird.
Oh, I
on
love
there.
that.
Just so it has another layer.
So creative. I'm just gonna paint this black.
And I painted the background white and then just lightly dry brushing like all the details that are on it. And then we'll highlight it with some waxes.
But we were so thrilled to find these today because, number one, it was such an incredible price. And I thought it was perfect for us that we could do all kinds of different things to it. I kind of like the black on this. You just got home. Linda Merrill, you just got home
Hey, Linda.
from Trifecta. Just got home for Trifecta. Let's see, who else was here? You love Formflex, Tammy. Oh, I know. It's been in your fridge for over a year. Not sure why
Wow.
you're so afraid of it. Oh my gosh, Tammy, I'm so shocked too. You're so creative. You should You will, if you haven't ever tried it, you will love it. And I had all these castings already done, which is so huge, such a huge blessing to have that done already. So then all we had to do was just paint them and pop them on.
Especially when we're, you know, running across the street to get to.
That was my fault.
It was great. Debbie grabbed the shopping cart at Goodwill, and I said, "It looks like we're going through, what is that grocery store dash show?"
Oh, supermarket sweeps.
Yes,
That's exactly what it looked like. And I videotaped the two of them running across the street because I said, we can go, but we have like 15 minutes total, and then we had to factor in time to check out. So, we were running around through there.
I think the hot flashes are contagious because all three of us have had one today.
Oh my gosh.
And we...
oh, yes, Pamela, I do.
We went to, if anybody's familiar with Coronado, we went to POE's for lunch today.
Oh,
Sat right on the water. That was fabulous. That was really nice. And tomorrow is pretty much mostly stay here and get all of our homework done that we're supposed to be doing that we haven't done yet. So, all the retreat homework. Hi, Sandy Cochran.
We're so glad you guys are here.
Jeremiah Dreams. Hi, sister. Jeremiah Dreams in the house.
Hey, Teresa.
How are you, sweet sister?
Okay, I am. These are really fun. That is Bill's favorite spot. And it's never really been my most favorite until today. We had, I normally get like coconut crunchy shrimp or something, and it's not been that great. Today, Jennifer and I got fish and chips. It was
So
spectacular.
Good. So good.
Yeah, but then Jennifer's been sick feeling sick ever since.
I think mine is a combination. Like, I didn't sleep
Tired.
before I flew out, and then I may or may not have had a couple cocktails last night.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Which
But we won't tell.
I don't do that often at all. So yeah.
And we did, last night we stayed up till about 1 o'clock and just sat here and talked.
Where's the liquid patina?
So,
I like
so
that.
far it's
stand.
great. I know, I love
It was
that
just here a
stand.
minute ago. Oh, right here, baby.
Oh, that's it. Thank you.
The decor that's exactly what I said when we walked in. I said to them, I go, but the decor is so strange. It is bizarre. It's like it's built right into a big rock. But it is so incredible to be out right on the water and watch the boats and the ferries come in. I think I want to gold all of this, so I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to do this all in black. Just see what happens with a little bit of bling. I always love doing these things because I feel like it really shows everybody's personality and individual style. Mara, what do you got to say for yourself? Anything?
Yeah.
What do I have? What?
What do you got
She's
to say
like
for yourself?
concentrating over here.
I know. Well, because I had to stamp. I'm stamping.
Can they see you?
Yeah. I just added a layer of the kind disregard stamp in the background. Hey, Beth. How are you?
Candace is there.
Candace.
We love you guys, every one of you. All right, hold on. Debbie Gordon, you just came home from Hawaii Tuesday night, got sick, tested positive for COVID. Oh, I'm so sorry. The view is incredible, isn't it, Beth? So, Nicole, Beth, at St. Edmund.
Hi, Beth.
Nicole and my granddaughter are both sick, and they thought they had either pneumonia or walking pneumonia, but luckily it's just a viral infection and pretty much nothing you can do. So we're just trying to stay healthy over here.
Okay, I need some paint.
This would make a good challenge though if you did a number of crafters all have the same thing.
Yeah.
They could all go buy the same thing and then have I'm sure they've done it before, but I've never seen anybody do that, where they all do the same thing. Okay, I'm loving
Do you
this.
have another paper plate?
Do you have another paper plate? Yeah. You can have that one.
Okay.
Is that good?
I'm
Is
gonna just
anybody
kind of
using
blend.
black?
Not yet, but I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
Um,
So I'm going to use the liquid gold. It is so crazy to think through every single thing that you have to have for 6 weeks for projects.
I don't know how you
I
did
think
it.
you did pretty amazing,
I probably
though.
cried.
Yeah, but it took me, we were supposed to leave Friday morning and we didn't end up leaving till Saturday afternoon because it
I
just
have
took
that
me
one.
forever to think it all through. All right, you guys, you're on charge.
Patty says
Okay.
she loves that stencil. Hey, Miss Patty. Hey, Robin.
The kindest regard stamp? Oh, that's awesome, isn't it?
Oh, Paris. You're welcome. Okay.
We should talk about how
What?
excited
What
we
should
are
we talk about?
about the retreat. You guys, we're gathering sponsors. IOD is
Oh,
going
my
to be one of
goodness.
our sponsors. And who else? Decoupage
We
Queen.
have Decoupage Queen. We have Totally Dazzled.
It's going to be so amazing.
Ooh, what is happening? That's true. Because I grabbed the black brush.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Careful, I've got that. I'm going to put it in here because Lord knows somehow I'm going to spill that. But I'm going to dry brush the gold over top of this.
She's going to be done like so fast.
I know, she is. She's quick. Quick,
I'm
quick,
still trying to figure out what's going on here, and she's like, done, 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 done.
Here's
I'm
the thing,
just
though.
stippling, trying to basically, with the paper, because I think we're going to use some fine line crackle. And I am using the, oh. I'm sitting, y'all, they're on my head. The khaki tint, my glasses, I'm sitting here,
Oh.
doing the Polaroid. You know what I need? I need burnt umber. Do you have burnt umber?
I do. I don't know that I'm faster. I just.
No,
I
I know
do.
you
I
are.
probably work faster.
I know
Wait,
faster.
I misspoke. I probably do. I don't know why. You know how much I love it when you guys all start loving each other. Like when we're talking. There's Form Flags.
Is Tammy on?
Yes, Tammy is on.
Tammy, we're all using it.
Form Flags tonight. And we are super excited that Tammy's going to be at the retreat with us. Yeah, I'm using the castings that you've made, and I brought all of them. So the girls are using them too. I think I want to, okay, I'll give you a little glimpse of so far what I've got. But it's that peacock paper in blue and white toile that I am so in love with.
Love it.
Yeah, I do too. So, okay, it needs something else. What else does it need? I'm gonna use a little bit of bling. I grabbed I love these little Tim Holtz. Aren't these Tim Holtz? These little frames by Tim Holtz.
I don't know if those are. I think those might be Paper Studio.
Studio.
Yep, Hobby Lobby.
But
They're great.
so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody else been to Coronado and loves it here?
One of my favorite places to come. This is where I bring guests all the time when they come visit.
Love that. Nope, don't like that. Yeah, that's what Mara was saying. It's like if somebody comes, I said, how often do you get down here? Oh, we've got somebody comes into town.
Well, because it's so close to the airport.
Mama Jerry, you've never been here. You're not that far away.
No kidding.
I'm surprised. Oh, it's so beautiful here. Like I said, as soon as I get done, that's probably why I'm going to try and get mine done a little bit faster so I can show you guys around too. You have and you loved it. Yeah, we are right next to the Dell. Let me see if I want to do this. I don't know if I do or not. I'm just spitballing. Many times. You stayed at the Dell 8 times. Oh, yeah. We are. Wait till you see. We are right next door. What was that?
An X-Acto knife?
Yes.
The paper's a little too long.
Oops. Yes, Michelle Cano just sent me this incredible X-Acto knife.
Oh,
wow.
It's the big mother, the big one.
Lori Lou would have a stroke if I busted out that. She covers her eyes every time I get out a knife, a razor.
Who does?
Lori.
So Bill is having dinner with my mom and Bob in Arizona tonight, which I thought was so nice. Is that the place where the Navy SEALs? Yes, this is exactly where the Navy SEALs do their swimming. But we haven't seen them yet. I'm hoping maybe tomorrow. There was something about this I wanted to use, but now it's just too much. But it's kind of interesting.
Ah, it's wet.
Debating on this. I just think it's interesting.
It is interesting.
Is it too interesting? Hi, Pam Lair. Did you miss anything about the virtual retreat? No, that is going to be tomorrow night happy hour. Oh, wait, no, the virtual retreat, that is, a lot of that's not going to do anything until we get closer to the retreat.
Because the virtual retreat is just that. It is going to be us going live and the videos and all the things from
The retreat.
the retreat. So not until August 18th, 19th, and 20th. I know a lot of people are panicking because they haven't been added. There's nothing happening there. Nothing happening. Promise you're not missing anything whatsoever.
But we will be doing a drawing for anybody who joined before April 11. We are going to do some drawings, and so that's probably about the only thing that's going to happen before the retreat, besides getting you guys in there eventually and getting everybody settled in for what's going to happen. But tomorrow night's happy hour is for the people that are actually going to go to the retreat in person.
So if you are a ticket holder, in-person ticket holder, make sure that you are on the Swag Makers retreat page.
Gold color? Gold paint? Is this the stinky gold?
Yeah, it is the stinky gold, sorry.
It's metallic.
I can't figure out what I want to do. I think I'm just going to do a, let's see. So yeah, that is, unfortunately, yeah, with a virtual retreat ticket, like anybody's virtual retreat ticket, there's just nothing that's going to go on until later on. I'm fairly certain I can't do anything without a little bit of blend. So I'm going to use my cute little gun. We're still trying to find a substitute for this, my sweet petunia, my little glue gun that I love so much.
Hey ladies, how are you? Who just popped on? Someone just popped on. Oops. Oops. Oops.
One of the things my mom always says is, well, why would you do a project if the people can't, if the ladies can't get it? Like, you know, because in my mom's mind, a lot of times you guys would rather just sit and do the project with us, and I beg to differ. Tell me your feelings on that, because tonight we were talking about this at the antique mall. There were some really cool things that I would have loved to have done.
That paint is strong.
But, you know, then I think, well, if you guys can't get it, is that frustrating? So let me know your thoughts on that.
I feel like a lot of people, it's a mixture. I think it's going to be a lot of people like watching and they don't really, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And some people feel like, oh, I'd like to do that. But there's always substitutions, and that's the fun part. Is
yes.
that, I don't know,
Totally
to me,
agree.
I never copy something exactly 100% anyway. So
That and
sometimes
a lot
it's a
of,
nice
yeah,
challenge.
that
to
and a
have-
lot of things. It's it's the technique.
Right.
You know, just you can see different techniques. Like we pulled this bird out of that, let me get up close, out of that paper. But if you look, how we're kind of camouflaging and blending that paint in around the bird.
I would love a mixture. Okay, hold on. Cindy said, maybe do the outside edging of yours in the crackle finish to see the black come through. Oh, that's cute. That would be cute. I would love that idea. You like to watch to get ideas, so it doesn't have to be. Hold on. Annette, you didn't know there was a retreat page yet? Yes, there is. So,
In person.
that's something that, yeah, for in person, we'll look at all of that tomorrow and see who all is supposed to be there that isn't there yet.
And there's a lot of people that are there that aren't supposed to be there because Facebook shot out invites. It was a complete Facebook glitch. So several people are actually on the retreat page, and that shouldn't be.
But it's not your fault. It's because you were invited by accident. So
well, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It shows that I invited you. I really didn't. I love you, but I really didn't.
wow.
Sorry.
Wow,
I did not do it.
So rude. So rude.
See, it makes me. And
We
it
thought
does.
she was the nice one.
She's not.
I know. I'm like. I hate to say like, we love you, but please, if you see you are removed.
Don't be offended.
Yes. I did not send out those invites. Neither did I send out like the 2,500 that are still sitting there saying, they were invited by, I think, Home Sweet Create. Yeah. And so I have gone round and round with Facebook to try to get that fixed. But it would literally, it's just been a huge issue. Whew, girl.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is really strong. But I'm happy to know. So I haven't seen anybody that was like, no, we hate to watch you. You like to get ideas and techniques. No two projects should be alike, yes. You like to watch and learn no matter what. You like to watch many ideas can be placed on alternate sort. Okay, I love that idea. You just love tuning in for the conversation. Corey, that's so sweet. Project is a bonus. You're so sweet.
That is very sweet.
Tina, watching is therapy for you. Then later you'll attempt to make it. And if it was like me before I started actually crafting, by later I mean maybe next year or the following year.
Or it goes in the naughty pile.
Yeah, at some point I'll get to it, but I don't know when. We're forced to have to do this. You guys see that? Hear the planes? We're right at the naval base.
I think.
So,
Not mad at it.
Oh, no, it's beautiful.
You're
just
like,
gonna
I'm
cover
closing that. Yeah.
I can't put that in like regular water.
hold on, let me get rid of that. I got one more to do.
I need bling too. I need lots of bling. I want to put some in her crown, in the roses.
So I think everybody's always wanting to know how everybody's family's doing. So Jennifer, what's happening with yours?
Oh goodness.
I know.
We could be here all night.
Well,
All the grandbabies, all the 5 of the grandbabies are doing amazing.
Do you have tape?
Madden, of course, just had his 2nd birthday. Quinn's about to graduate kindergarten.
Papers tape.
Yeah, they're just
Oh,
as
that's
adorable as they can be. Connor is doing well. He is in Japan. And actually sent me, he's out in the field right now and sent me a really cool video.
oh yeah, I think Jen wanted those too.
Yeah, that's what I got. Yeah.
And what about your mom?
My mom. My mom's been very sick, but she's okay. She's okay.
Mara, what's going on with yours?
Let's see. Mom is still, she's hanging in there. She's in the memory care facility, and she's doing oddly well being bedridden. So that's a God wink, because we thought for sure that would be her demise. Just not ever getting out of bed again, and bed sores and all that other nonsense.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
been a
that-
blessing, and Yasmin's doing well, and of course Rich is home with the dogs, holding the fort down, and Miss Ruth is back to work, so All is right in the world.
All is
I
good
could leave.
again.
I could be like, I'm getting out of Dodge, y'all.
And what a nice treat that you did get to get out of Dodge.
Well, thank you.
That is not something you get to do very often.
No, it is not.
Amen. Yeah,
And
what
I think
is
as with creators, we need that. You know, we need to refuel.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
And I'm just tearing bits and pieces and just kind of collaging it back into the piece.
Thinking about that, but it's almost
Somebody's
too
singing.
much. Yeah, I can hear somebody down there. Oh, one year when Bill was here, all of a sudden he heard all this music down on the beach. This was like 20 years ago. It was Billy Joel was doing a concert at the Dell. I think it was probably somebody's wedding, and they had enough money to afford to hire him. But I thought that was incredible. So if I do the fine line crackle, can I put it on there now?
Yeah, you have to top coat it first, though. Top coat your paper.
And it needs to be completely dry.
No, not my top coat. Not there. On my sides. Somebody was saying the sides would be so cool done. But
You
I've already
could.
done gold on it. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
So I can just do the fine line number 1?
You can. Just make sure it's top coated.
But then what am I going to do after that?
Then you do
You wait
number
till
2.
it's completely dry. Just
Wait till it's completely dry and then I can do
dry.
number 2. Because I thought that was a great idea, Cindy. I loved that idea. Yes, if you guys aren't aware, there's a 1 and a 2.
There's a 1 and a 2. You need
And
3 dry, clean brushes. Boy, there's that smelly stuff. Oh, that's beautiful.
And I used, I was talking the other day on my live and I used the 2 instead of the 1, and I don't think anybody's ever going to let me forget it. That's not
That's
sweet.
it.
That's
It
not
happens
sweet.
to
It
the best
happens.
of us.
Absolutely.
And I mean,
And guess what? You'll probably never do it again. So there you go. It's a
No,
learning
because look, the
experience.
first thing I did was checked. Hi, Debbie. You sound like Lawrence Welcome. 1 and a 2.
and a 1.
You guys remember that show? Every time when I would go visit my stepbrother who owned a nursing facility, that's what they were all crowded around in their wheelchairs, just waiting for like an hour before Lawrence Welk came on.
Oh, wow.
Well, and I don't know if I told you, I was telling Jennifer, somebody, my mom lived in Lawrence Welk in San Diego.
She what?
She lived there.
You told us
at
that
Lawrence Welk,
driving.
Yeah.
But she lived where?
She lived. They have a section there where they have homes in Lawrence Welk, in Escondido.
Oh, she was talking about the person.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about the.
She's talking about a place. We're talking about a person.
Lawrence Welk, the show.
The actual Lawrence Welk. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying he lived here in San Diego. He had a home here in San Diego.
Oh.
And it was right up at the top, Lawrence Welk Village, the resort.
Oh.
That's here in just down the road.
Yeah.
We have a timeshare there, but my mom lived there. Ding! There's the light bulb.
Uh-huh.
Lawrence Welk grew up in North Dakota. Did anybody know that?
No, I did not.
That would have been a great little trivia question. Lawrence Welk grew up in North Dakota. That's interesting. I'm going to use some stickles.
I
need some bling.
But
What do you think? Do I need anything else? Bling. Definitely bling.
y'all, I
Bling you
like
got over there.
Bill was not thrilled when he saw that. He thought we were going to do all this in one car to come here, but there's no possible way. Hi, Michelle. Oh, they like your jeans, Mara.
Oh, thank you.
And so there was no chance. So we had to take 2 cars, and I have stuff everywhere. Luckily, there's incredible amounts of storage in this place.
Gosh.
So I definitely lucked out there.
You know what I'm saying?
And then Bill will come back Saturday.
Let's see. I don't know what I'm gonna put down here.
Okay. Well, I have to wait for all of the.
Oh my gosh, Debbie.
That's
So
over the
good.
top.
But I'll have to wait for everything to dry. But
Over the top.
look, look how simple that was.
She just whipped that right up, y'all.
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Whipped it right up.
Like no
And-
plan.
Like a bound chicka bound bound.
Anyway, But I think the whole point of this was I absolutely love this paper. So if you can find this, let me set this down.
It should be at the
We
top.
have lids
If you
on
open it
everything,
up.
I hope. Okay, this paper is just fabulous. Mara had quite a bit of stock on it.
Yeah, and it's new, so on the website it'll be right at the top.
So there it is. It is Rice Paper Collection, paper designs. You get 10 sheets of paper, and this is the Vintage Birds collection. There's another collection also.
Yeah, and it has a lot of vellum in it.
And this shows you all of the papers so that you can see all the papers that are in this. Is that fabulous? Oh, I love them all. Did you see the birdcage, Jen? There's a birdcage in there too. I know. Hold on. Look at that birdcage.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And there's
you know what it looks like?
The Paris labels and everything. So, okay, I'm going to take you guys out of here. For those of you who haven't seen this place yet, I'm going to try and not lose you because I lost everybody the other day, but let me try it again. Okay. So, let me flip you around. This will help. Okay. Now that I'm done, I can be your servant.
I'll be done soon.
Look how cute. So so here's the difference in us. Right now I can tell you. Jennifer is a absolute perfectionist. I am not. So if you saw Jennifer, she trimmed hers perfectly to get right in here. I did not. I will go back and probably fix it at another point because now I'm mortified. But
I would have never ever noticed.
Look at you. Super.
Oh, that's cute.
Super duper. All right, Mara, what you got going on? Oh my God! Oh, look at your little CC Chanel
They didn't have
going
any
on.
juicy couture, so I had to
They
use
didn't have any
CC.
juicy couture. Hold on, let me find you. My camera's backwards.
No.
Hold on, what's going on? There, my camera's backwards. Drives me nuts. That looks good.
It's cute.
What is wrong with
There you
me?
are.
There it is. There it is.
It kind of has an old world feel to it.
Oh, I love it. I love everything you put on it, but that is fabulous. Are you going to do any stickles?
Yeah, I'm probably going to add a little bit more bling, maybe a little bit here, and I'd like to add a little bit of bling in the crown. And
Yeah.
then I think it'll be good.
But you guys, this island is huge, and look at what we've done to it. So, oh well. Okay, so for those of you who've never seen this before, this is the Del Coronado. So now you can see how close I am. We are the first building right next to the Del, and it is such a beautiful night. So I've got the Del there. You can see San Diego way in the background, which is incredible. Down here is the bay with the boats, and you can see all the way down Coronado Island from here also. These are more, like I keep saying, I don't understand how people live like this. Like in New York City when they're all like facing each other. Because these people right here, they're just looking at us. Like we have completely blocked their beach view. But look at how beautiful. And that runway is the Navy. Let me see if I can get you right there. That's the Navy runway. And that is the naval base over there. Okay. I'll step back here. We've been messing around. We've got stuff everywhere. But this is when you walk in, and that's what you see when you walk in. So I have to tell you, when we all walked in the first time, it's breathtaking.
It's like,
Yeah, it's breathtaking. You grew up for many years 2 hours from there. Oh, that's cool. So anyway, this is where I will work the whole time I'm here. And then this is my workstation view, which I absolutely love. But this is where all the Navy SEALs are. Can you hear it? And so there's some boats out there, but the sound is beautiful. For those of you who live on the East Coast, I can tell you that West Coast beaches don't look anything like East Coast. East Coast beaches, like Florida beaches, are spectacular. The beaches aren't that great here. I don't know why, but they're not that great. So that's kind of a bummer. But other than that, everything else is beautiful. But Bill and I don't really go out. We're not really beach. He's got skin, well, we don't know if he's got skin cancer, but I've had skin cancer, so it's the last thing that I really want to do. Then little tiny kitchen and big TV area, and then all these chairs turn around. Look at this is how you get everything up and down from your car. And so here's our shopping cart. This is all the stuff we bought today, all three of us, everything we bought today. For those of you who saw my other purse, I did a Louis Vuitton. Well, actually, I'm going to get it. So this is the master. Like I said, I'm sorry, everything's not really cleaned up because we're living, you know, we're living here. This is the master bath, which is really nice. But I made this purse. Hold on. How funny is this? No other crafter's taking you in their master bath and their closet. But so I made this. One of my ladies, Sue Shutt, had one similar to this, and it was gorgeous. And so I thought, oh, I'll do that. So I went to Amazon and got the purse. And then the patch is from ilfaitjourshop.com. And it's a rectangle patch, but I just cut that out. And so today, when I was at that store, this antique mall, I found this one. And I have a Chanel patch that I'm gonna do something really cool up here and do a Chanel patch on this. I'm super excited about that. Look at these. Mara, these were in Mara's shop. And I said, oh my gosh, Mara, what are you going to do with those? And she said, oh, I'm just going to give them to you because I can't wear them. I was like, what? So anyway, she just gave me those. Aren't they fabulous? Yeah, I love that purse too, so much. Okay, so the girls were like, where are you keeping everything while you're here? Here's why we're keeping everything. There is these two closets. And so I just brought a whole bunch of stuff, different projects and things. And that's where I'm keeping everything while we're here because we don't really have a lot of choice. And then look, all my transfers and decoupage papers and stencils and then bases and things that I can use. So aren't those incredible, Mary? Oh, I love them so much. So we were so blessed with tons of storage here. And then this is the guest area. So then look, it's all just storage everywhere, which is insane. You never have that kind of storage. How long are the girls there for? Then here's their little bathroom, just normal. And then here's where Mara and Jennifer are sleeping. They put two twin beds together. We didn't do it, they did. And but it's a cute little room, and then they have a great view also. So yeah, it's really nice. I mean, it's really nice. It's the nicest condo we've ever had here. So I'm here until July 1st, and I'm here till July 1st, and the girls are here till, we don't know. Jennifer's got to leave Tuesday, so I don't think we've really made a decision on everything yet, but just to wake up here with the sound and all that stuff was so incredible. Okay, I'm going to show you what we bought today, so you guys will think this is, and everybody likes to do that. So here's some things we found. This was Goodwill. Look at these. Mara found these sweet birds at Goodwill today for $1.99. She found this huge thing for $2.99, which was a smoking deal. All right. Okay, their stuff was really expensive, though, at this mall. Like, the prices were higher than I've ever seen. But, you know, when in California, you do as the Californians do. So, Mara and Jennifer are giving me a hard time about this, but I have to tell you, I love this. Do you have a blue shopping cart? Yes, we have a blue shopping cart in our room because they have them downstairs for you to bring your groceries and stuff upstairs because we're on the 14th floor. So, anyway, I think she's fun, and I can't wait to do something crazy with her. Like, I think she's going to be fabulous. Okay, what else? We got really fun stuff today. This was $16, but I loved the whole thing about it. So I'm going to, Carol Pulver, you love it too? Okay, good. Yes, another Butterface. That's what it is. I thought this little couple was really sweet, so I'm going to do them in obviously like black and white check or something. Oh my gosh, Mary, you found 2 of those birds.
Yes.
Oh, big score on those. Those are so cool.
Show them my angel heads.
Show them your angel heads. Okay, hold on. So this I found for $15, but I picture it with, I'm gonna turn my camera around. It's about to make me crazy. Okay. I'm going to do like black and white check and maybe some transfers. And then I was gonna put something really cute in here, whether it's candles or florals. I'm not sure what, but I thought that was just a really cute piece for $15. This I love because I've been wanting to do a magnetic board project for a long time. So I picked this up for $19. I'm not thrilled. That was way too much to spend, but I didn't want to have to go somewhere and find these little jars. And I think that's such a cute idea to put your paper clips or whatever in. Okay. So anybody who's in my sisterhood, come on. That is so cute. And it is that string art, which I think is so fun. But I loved this. And so it's like, 3D popping off of it. But look, it was nothing. Just somebody's crappy wood, which, by the way, they didn't finish the back. But I'm going to use this, and I'm going to put bling all over it, and then put this on top of something else, because I just thought that was a lot of fun. Jamie, where have we been shopping? Oh my gosh, Mira, what was the name of it?
It was hang on, let me think of it.
It was something like,
Consignment Classics.
what is it?
Consignment Classics.
Consignment Classics. It claimed to be the largest antique vendor mall in San Diego,
The
but
other location is better.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Look at this. So I loved this little 3-drawer, and all of this, while we were standing there, I started just trying to see if I could pop all this off, and look, it'll pop right off. So I can't wait to do something really fun with this. This was only $14, so we did get a great price on that one. Mara found some brand new tennis shoes at Goodwill. I still couldn't believe it. And they're really nice.
Yeah, I'm going to decoupage them.
They're really nice. Okay, I found this because I'm going to do another big dress form while I'm here. And so I found this for a base at Goodwill for $7.99. The Goodwill was a good one here.
Do you think I should just go directly over that
Love.
and then highlight it with some?
How much do you love that? I know I've seen these probably at Hobby Lobby, but I loved it. And I don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't very much at all. So I thought that was a smoking deal. I don't know what I'll do to it, but okay, look at this. So this was the most expensive thing I bought. Mara passed on it, and I pretty much ran right behind her and grabbed it then when I realized she was going to pass, because I just picture this being spectacular. And then I've got some beautiful decoupage paper that I got from Mara that I think will go amazing in here. Okay, what else did we get? Mira, what did you just say to show? Oh, okay, hold on. So those of you in my sisterhood group, I was practicing with foils the other day on a vase, and everybody was having a heart attack. They're like, no, don't ruin the vase. I found the exact vase. So I was so excited about that. This exact vase, and I think it was like $10. So that was a smoking deal. We had a lot of fun. Jennifer found a gavel for her auctions, which is so fun. Isn't that frame beautiful? Mira, what did you say? Oh, okay. I'm trying to get to him. Hold on. Will you, Jennifer?
Shopping all over again, isn't it?
It is. Will you come hold the camera for a minute for me?
I'm gonna let Mara, because
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to show you what Jennifer got. Oh, you guys do like seeing it? Okay, I do too. I love seeing what other people are getting. So, is it the right way?
Yes.
Okay, so Jennifer found this because I had a mini tea set and Mara brought a teapot, and so we were gonna do a teapot tonight, and then we kind of ran out of time. So Jennifer found this at Goodwill.
$9.
$9.99, and it is a really pretty one. I have one, and the feet are broken. So.
Robin says you brought the Goodwill cart home with you. No, they have these here in her complex. But
okay.
I did get a video of her pushing it.
Okay, here we go. Mary, you can talk about these.
Oh my gosh, I just love these. So Candace went to Italy and she found some very, very similar to me, but they were smaller. And I'm actually going to be making some custom castings out of these.
How incredible is that, you guys?
Candace, doesn't this look like the one that you brought back from Italy? Look at this. Isn't that stunning?
But look
and
at
then look at
this
that one.
And
right?
It's super heavy.
Super heavy. Robin, we're going to zhuzh up those teapots. They're going to get all kinds of stuff put on them. Just you wait.
But these are fabulous. And Mara knows how to make molds out of something like this. So she can make more.
So we're going to make custom castings out of that, and then we're going to have that as a mold. Can you imagine? Look at this. Having this, something like this.
Gosh,
put
can
that
you
up
make
there.
that for me?
Yeah, you betcha.
Yes.
That right on top of that, like,
Oh, yeah, I love
right?
that.
Like, amazing.
Okay, these are so dainty and so delicate.
Those are mine, and a lot of you, especially my gals, know we've kind of went down a rabbit trail. So textiles, I'm actually going to stamp into these, and then there are going to be patches on my pants, kind of like these are. And then I bought these.
These are fabulous.
$4.
Get these.
$4 for a set.
Each?
No, for the set. I thought it was a great deal.
So expensive. Okay, hold on. Let me move this without breaking anything.
Everybody's got a ton of teapots to do.
Yes, and I haven't done a teapot in a long time. Okay, so we saw Jennifer's got.
I don't remember where I got it from. Oh, I got that fabulous set.
I know.
The tea set.
Jennifer found this today. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's stunning.
If Diane Cardello's on, she's obsessed with fleur-de-lis, but I just thought this was beautiful.
I love fleur-de-lis
Jennifer
too.
Jennifer thought this would make an incredible Tully Dazzle project, which I agree.
Yes. Aren't they great for patches, Robin? Patty, we actually have a video on it in our archives, in our membership group. Patty, go and check out the archives. We have 3 videos on castings, on making your own castings.
Okay, so look at these. $11 for the pair. That's a smoking deal.
Yeah, it is.
Because you've got 1 mil and 1 salt and pepper. These are Jennifer's. And then...
Paula's saying that's a beautiful frame. Sue Fain is saying the fleur-de-lis frame is gorgeous.
So here's what's crazy. I brought a mini tea
Should we go
set.
over there and show them?
Yeah. I brought a mini tea set with me. Go ahead.
How's it working? You good, Jen?
Good.
So Jennifer brought this tea set with her.
I didn't bring that with me.
No, I'm sorry, Debbie. Debbie brought this tea set with her. And then I brought this teapot with me. Hey, Kaylee. How are you, sweetheart? Yes, it is. And then Jennifer found the teapot today. We were going to get another one, but it was $13. And I was like, no, don't get it.
Yeah, but what's crazy is Jennifer just said this morning.
She said, hey, ladies. Hey, mama.
Who's that, Kaylee?
Yeah.
Aw, hi, Kaylee. This is cute, Jen.
Darling.
What do you do with this?
Oh, you kidding?
Oh,
Are
my
you new
goodness.
here?
Yeah. I like to just collect them, and you can do something as simple as just put some, like sari silk or some ribbon and like hang a key from them.
Okay.
Such a cute tea set. Prayers for you, Debbie.
No,
Debbie
what
S.
is this is, so that was my tea set, and Jennifer was like, oh, I just love it. And then she found this
Yep.
at the antique store, which
Yep.
I still can't get over. And it's bigger and better than mine. Whatever, Jennifer.
Wah, wah.
Bigger and better.
You've never seen a mini tea set? They're adorable. Now we saw 2 of them. Mary White's flying in, make room. Look at our view, you guys. Isn't that amazing? All right, let's do a recap so we can wind this down because we haven't eaten. Jennifer's still working, but that's okay. So Debbie's done. Of course, she's our queen.
No, she still has stuff to show, she just said.
You did? Yeah. Okay. And then, let me see, Jennifer's working on hers.
Yeah.
And she's coming right along, and it's looking absolutely fabulous. Right? And then I'll finish mine. So we all started with the exact same panel. Isn't that crazy? Candace said, Jen, I don't think she watches you live.
What?
She doesn't think she watches you live because she said, what are you going to do with that bottle?
Aww.
I'm busy. I can't be bothered watching other graphics.
What the heck? Hold on, let me turn the camera around. There we go. There we go, guys.
Okay.
All right, do I need something else? I kind of feel like I need something else.
Okay, so here's what I found at Goodwill.
Stripe.
This is what I want to show you guys because I told my girls before, I love these so you can see through what is in there. And these were $1.99 each. So this was, I thought that was a
serious?
crazy smoking deal.
Wow.
This is one of Mara's favorite artists, Kelly Roberts.
Kelly Ray Roberts.
Kelly Ray Roberts, and this was $3.99.
That's some smoking deal for
I know,
that.
and I can't wait to do something with that. I
Yeah,
thought that was
that's
so
smoking
cute.
that's
If I was a really sweet person, I would have given it to her, but I said no. I'm keeping it. But anyway, and then look at that little teeny tiny little book. So I can't wait to do something with that. And you guys know I'm obsessed with clutches, and so this is in perfect condition for $5.99, and I'm going to turn this into an entire Chanel bag. So, I know, super excited. Come over for a cup of tea, Barb. Yes, come have a cup of tea with us, a cuppa.
Cuppa. But it's not tea time, though. It's happy hour.
But she gave you shoes. Well, good point, Charlotte. I'll think about it.
That's right, I did. Did you show them those fabulous shoes?
Yes, I did, because I
Did they
love
fit you?
them. Yes,
They do fit you.
they're incredible. Holy moly. Look
Cute,
at
right?
you.
I'm just going to add more like gold stripes down here. That'd be good.
Oh, that's beautiful, Jennifer.
Stunning.
Yeah, look at it. That is so pretty. Well, we did give her a lot more time than we had. We had to keep entertaining while you just worked.
Yeah,
To see
yeah.
how
Show
that
us up.
worked?
That is
Y'all are
beautiful.
funny.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
How crazy is it how different all of our designs are, though? Is anybody fascinated by that but me?
It's
Oh, I thought I was like, are you waiting for
It was
them to say something?
fascination,
I thought you were
my
talking to our friends.
No.
I know.
was talking to you.
yeah.
I'm
it's
so
totally.
sorry.
It doesn't surprise me.
Hi,
but-
Barbara. Oh, the shoes are so spectacular. Long
There we go.
Island
Funny.
iced tea. Yes, Long Island iced tea. I'm like, where are my glasses? I can't see a stinking thing. So, what else you guys have to talk about? Anything?
Let's see.
This would have been cute. I got this from Mara. This is for steampunk, but really, I don't really understand steampunk yet. I would
Doesn't
like to
have
figure
be
it out.
steampunk, though.
Well, it kind of is, though, don't you think?
Yeah, but I think you could paint it out differently.
Are you doing stripes?
I am on the sides because I did them here.
I'm feeling like an underachiever right now. Complete
Are you kidding me? Look at
underachiever.
yours.
John, are you kidding me? Yours is like bougie land.
Bougie land.
Underachiever. Yes, we're all very unique. What is Jennifer's page name? Annette, her page name is Home Sweet Create. And she also has a private group.
Which I'm like more in there.
Hi, Micheline. You missed the shoes? Okay, I'll go get them. Hold on.
They're fabulous, you guys.
Keep watching the girl.
I have a pair just like them. And when we were in Vegas, Jennifer and I went out one night, and I was like, I don't know, should I wear these? Because they're super comfortable. I said, I think they're too much. You think they're too much? And they can't see us. And she's like, hello? What do you mean, are they too much? Can't see your pretty face.
Yeah. I'm like, who Queen of More is More asked if it was too much.
Next time,
Comical.
wait.
I need the stinky.
Next time we go anywhere, I'm going to wear these
Yeah.
with my black jeans. But aren't those gorgeous? Mira, where are they from?
You know what? We used to have a boutique, and they came from the. We had them from the boutique.
They are
We had 'em
just
in pink,
spectacular. You did? No,
I
I
have a pink
love the black. Aren't those incredible,
yeah,
you guys?
So we totally need to have a third pair, so
We
we all
do.
have matching shoes.
We do
Yes.
Get you a pair.
Where can we get those?
I don't know. Let me look around and see if the company's even still around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised you didn't keep them and keep the appliques, the bee appliques for yourself.
Well, I thought about it. I had them at my booth, and they didn't really sell. And I thought, well, I'm not going to put them on sale. They're fabulous.
Yes.
So I thought, oh, I'll just bring them to the shop, and it was meant to be because you're like, and they just happen to fit
I
you.
know. All right, you can have the bird, Mara.
Ah,
Gosh.
It's okay, Debbie. I don't want to take your bird.
You can have the bird.
She's giving me the bird, y'all.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Let the record show.
I didn't even know what it was. Oh, man, my feet are killing me now. Woman, are you guys done yet? What is
No.
taking so long?
I'm trying to get this stripe
Oh,
going.
my
and
word,
it's hanky
seriously.
janky.
That's cute.
And I'm going to fine line crackle this, but they're rushing me.
Can't rush perfection.
That's true. You can't rush fabulous. Truth.
Love it.
Cannot rush
Loving it.
fabulous.
I'm not mad at it.
Okay, and that's going there.
And I have to wait till all this dries.
Do you have B7000?
I do.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have them covered in wax.
There you go. Has anybody tried this? One of my ladies told me to go get it. It's the Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. I can't remember who told me to get it. You bought beaded bee appliques from Hobby Lobby last year? Oh, yeah, you need to put those on something. Anyway, it's allegedly kind of like a diamond glaze, so it should work like that. Oh, I love that. Love, love, love. It needed that.
Yeah, it did. Just needs to go all the way around, though.
Look at your poor fingers.
I know. Is it how hard is
Are
that
you a
to get
messy
off?
crafter?
Oh, I'm a huge mess.
Are you?
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Oh,
Look at this.
it's beautiful.
There's schmutz everywhere.
Schmutz. I cannot believe how different we all are. But anyway, I'm going to give this a shot. I just didn't know if somebody else had done this before, but I'm going to give that a shot. You've heard, Lori, were you the one? Oh, no, we're talking about Jennifer. Never mind. I was like, were you the one who told me about this?
What's she saying?
Uh,
What's that squeezy glue gun thingy?
Here, baby.
Thank you.
Aw,
so frozen.
thank you so much, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight. I mean, I know it was kind of not a lot going on, but we definitely wanted to be together and say hi. And Mara was going to clean everything up, she said, when we're all done.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to that.
She'll get me back.
Okay, so tomorrow night, I will be live. Okay, when is everybody live tomorrow? What's your schedule tomorrow, Jen?
Oh, you're asking me.
I don't have one tomorrow.
You don't have any lives tomorrow? Okay, what do you have, Mara?
Tomorrow's Friday. We're all together tomorrow, 4 o'clock on my page. Date night.
I thought we were doing happy hour.
Yeah.
What's-
happy hour.
We can still do date
Yeah,
night.
we talked about
We'll
either
do
doing
date night
happy hour
and then happy
earlier
hour.
or later.
Okay.
One of the
Well,
two.
I will be live in my sisterhood group tomorrow morning. So I will be live at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning in my sisterhood group. So for those of you, because we didn't post a real schedule today, so if you're in my group, I will be there tomorrow morning. So thanks for popping in with us tonight and spending some time. Jennifer, can we see what you got going on?
Yeah, it's not done, but I'll show it.
It's beautiful. Thank
It's
you.
stunning.
Okay, yeah, it looks a little weird because of the lights, but we just added a couple of the Form Flex trims there. We used 2 of them. And then, of course, the crown. We
Stunning.
kind of... That, now you can see, as Susie Lee would call it, camouflage decoupage
What do you
with
mean?
the paints, where we blended
yeah, yeah.
all of this
Love
is just
that.
paints that
Yeah.
we blended in. So,
Oh, it's fabulous.
hey! Kaylee Ann, I love you, baby girl.
So
Give
fun.
my little
All right,
boys
ready?
kisses
Yeah,
for me.
you go ahead.
IOD stamp in the background, kindest regards. I think our stamp set is still
Did you just
going
say kindest regards?
on. Kindest regards.
Oh,
It's
that's
a
the
letter.
name of it?
That's the name
Okay.
of the stamp.
Oh, that-
You guys are if you guys are IOD stamp lovers, we're having a stamp sale that's going on till tomorrow,
Thank you, Tracy.
Saturday.
VintageRetailTherapy.com.
.com. IOD stamps and inlays. So kindest regards stamps, and you don't see a whole lot of it, but it just gives it a little something extra. Decoupage paper here, and then these are some of Debbie's castings that we added in there, and then we striped the bottom.
Is it heavy? Yes, they're very
They are
heavy.
Debbie's, yours is stunning.
Now it's I don't feel like I did, but mine, it's funny because mine is extremely blingy and blue and white, which is all my favorite things. So anyway,
And mine's pink and white,
yeah.
and I love pink.
And I haven't added bling yet, but I will.
So we'll post pictures when they're all done. We're gonna eat again because that's what we do.
I'm hungry.
I know, me too.
We worked up an appetite. I tell you what, that Goodwill, woo!
I know.
Between the Goodwill and the other place, we did
know.
like power shopping at the Goodwill.
Yeah, we
All
really
right,
did.
hop in, say goodbye, Mira.
We love
Bye,
y'all.
ladies.
Bye.
Thanks so much for being here, you guys. We appreciate it. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.